Had a few minutes, so I wanted to go live real quick, have a chance for the family to kind of come together, talk a little bit. I'm going to be doing some more videos this weekend, most high willing, and bringing out some more information. But I had a little bit of time, so I wanted to just come out real quick and have a chance for us to kind of come out and talk a little bit. You keep seeing like all these videos popping up everywhere on social media and how absolutely negative everything is, with the other nations right now. It's another beautiful day out here in Southern California. It's actually kind of warm actually now, which is nice. I prefer the heat. Got a little bit of time before I got next thing I got to take care of. So like I said, I'm going to spend a little time with the family real quick. 4 months, huh? Yeah, man, they've been tripping with the notifications and everything. I know how that is, man. It's been pretty crazy. Beautiful in New Jersey too. Sweet, beautiful. Yeah, man, you're just looking at the videos that, they're coming up with as far as like their topics that they're talking about. And, it's always something negative. I said, if we didn't have this truth, I'd go crazy, sitting here listening to the stuff that they're talking about like every single day, war, the end of the dollar, the end of society. Society's, falling apart for them, and it's like every day, the dollar is about to crash, the BRICS are going to come and take over. We've lost our way as a Christian nation, but still no truth. Absolutely no truth, and absolutely anything that they're talking about. Because they're only still giving us half truths. They're still only admitting to like half of the lies. Like, it's funny listening to a lot. I guess Paul Bagley put a video up earlier today and popped up on my stream. I just saw the title, and it was like Mexico was talking about America like becoming like an immoral society. Now, how low have you dropped when you got Mexico, and the corruption that goes on there, talking about America and the corruption that goes on here? We know that like there's this corruption, but the thing is that this corruption is worldwide. The corruption has been, all the countries are corrupt, and it's not necessarily the people, it's the leadership that's corrupt. If the leadership is all about making money and making things better for themselves and them getting away with everything that they possibly can, then that's just going to trickle down to the society. And this whole society has been set up on corruption. It's been set up on, I'm gonna get everything I can and screw everyone else, right? But it's just crazy how all these other countries are coming up and saying certain things as far as about America. But it's like, hey, everyone has taken part. So you guys are all guilty. And that's one thing like you're gonna hear. All these countries are like, screw America. You got Brazil, you got Mexico, you got all these BRICS nations, okay? No, but hold on now. I said Brazil's been screwing over our people down there the whole time. Mexico's got so-called black people there, they screw them over all the time as well. Society is built on like the color of your skin. The darker you are in all these societies, the lower you are as far as class is concerned, correct? So all of a sudden, to try to act like you're you have some moral high ground over America when you've been pushing, the same BS that America's been pushing, is pretty funny. But see, people are going to gravitate to the fact that they're saying a couple of things that are true, but then they're going to overlook the fact that all these countries are guilty. All of them, have a vendetta against Israel. Let me go here in the shade because I don't want my phone to die, which it will. I'll make sure that it cuts off real quick. They'll say it's getting too hot, right? Okay, hold on fast. Okay. So like I said, so you got to be just definitely leery of the half-truths that we're getting, because when you understand the Bible verse about John 8:44 and how it talks about how there's no truth in them, that means there's no truth whatsoever. So they're not able to give you half-truths. They're not able to give you some truth. They're giving you no truth whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, they'll go there and they'll kind of, I think that's what they do a lot of, is they'll point out certain things with other countries so you don't look at what they're doing, or you don't look at what they've done. I said all these countries, have taken the bag. All of them have taken money, compensation. Just because Mexico is poor now doesn't mean that Mexico was poor before. Mexico had many, many resources before. Hello, that's what the Spaniards came and stole from jump, right? When they got here, they were down there in South America, they were down there in Central America, they were down there in so-called Mexico, and they were stealing all the resources, correct? So the reason that I saw a video and it's so true. The people aren't poor. They have resources there. I said, but they're taken advantage of by the governments. They're taken advantage of by the people that are in power. So that's one thing. When you hide your history, then you can go out and you can say certain things about America. Yeah, America. Everybody's been talking about America because, we've been talking about the history of America. But all these countries have been are guilty. Not just America. I said they've all gotten their piece of the pie. They've all gotten their little piece of the pie. Some bigger than others, right? I said, but they've definitely gotten their piece of the pie. And now that it's time to start to pay up, all of a sudden, that's buffering now. I said, all of a sudden, everybody's going to talk about each other. I said they're all talking about each other now. Maybe I got to stay still. Winds are picking up here right now. Like I said, it's going to be a really quick live, so I'm going to definitely be coming on, and I got a lot of information to share. But I had a few minutes in between some things I was taking care of, so I wanted to come out and give the people a chance to kind of come together and talk a little bit. But like I said, these other countries are, you got them all talking mess, but I'm like, hey, you're guilty too. Just like how the Most High showed out Ukraine. The Most High exposed Ukraine. Remember, right at the beginning of the war, when they were trying to evacuate people, who were they not letting get on the train? Who were they not letting get on the train to leave? Remember, it was so-called black people, right? They were treating like crap, and they were being racist to the so-called black people that were actually in their country as well, right? So, like I said, what they show us on television and try to make it sound like, they're the ones that are totally, having everything go against them, this and that. But as soon as they get an opportunity to do something to us, they jump right at that opportunity, and like I said, I don't want to hear anything until you start coming to the realization of the fact that all these countries have done Israel wrong. You see what I'm saying? Like, some people are going to be so happy because someone mentions a little something, a little truth. And that's what used to be like. It used to be that when we got into the truth at first. When someone said something about the Israelites, oh man, they know the truth. You're Israel because you said something positive about Israelites. But then the next day or a week later, they're going right back to the same stuff they were doing before. Because we were wanting to be accepted so bad by these people that any kind of recognition was like a great accomplishment for us. But the thing is that I don't care if you acknowledge anything. I said, because who we are has nothing to do with you acknowledging it. Yes, acknowledging who we are, yes or no. It doesn't matter if you say, yeah, I agree with you, or no, I don't agree with you. You know why? Because the scriptures already tell us that the vast majority, you aren't going to get it. You're not going to get it till the very, very end. So for us to try to make it seem like, oh man, I just need these Gentiles to accept me. I just need one of them to say, yeah, you're right. You're the Israelites. Yeah. I like, why? I said, the Father already told you with the sheep and the goats. You know, you're gonna have people that are gonna be like, hey, you know, yeah, how should I say, hey, you came to see me when I was sick. You came to see me when I was this. You came to see me when I was that. When I was hungry. You know, you clothed me when I was naked. And they're gonna be like, well, when did we do that? When you do this to the least of my brethren. And then all the way till that time, they're still not going to realize that they have not been attending to the brethren of Yahushua. They're still going to not realize. They're not going to realize that they have not been attending to the brethren, you know, to the brethren of Yahushua. So, like I said, who cares if they agree or don't agree? You know, I get people that are still coming in and giving us comments. Oh, well, I still believe that those people over there are the Israelites. Yeah, some of them might be black, but those people over there. And I'm like, it was nothing but opinion. And I said, okay, well, that's great, man. All your opinion. I said, not one Bible verse, no nothing to prove your point. I said, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I said, but why don't you go express your opinion on your channel? Go make some videos on your channel, express your opinions over there, and go knock it out. I said, because we've been listening to your opinions for all of our lives, for generations. And now that the Father has awakened us, now you guys are like, well, maybe some of the stuff you're saying is true, but I still believe, you know, that those people over there are the people. Okay, well, with what proof do you have? How do they fit the scriptures? Are they leading people? Are they like the shining example on the hill? Are they teaching people about all the lies that have been going on for centuries? Are they bringing out this truth? Are they trying to, you know, show the people that, hey, you've been lied to about absolutely everything? You know what I'm saying? I haven't heard anybody doing that. I haven't heard anyone going into that at all. You know, I said, so, but I do hear, hey, you need to send us some more money. Hey, we need some more rockets. Hey, you guys need to, you know, come over here and give us some more military equipment. Hey, we need help with this. We need help with that. Hey, those billions that you've been giving us, that's cool, but shut the hell up and don't tell us what to do on our own lands. I've been hearing like a whole lot of need, you know. So, like I said, but Israel at this time, as they awaken, remember, we're all supposed to be asleep. We're all supposed to be, you know, lost. And the Most High sets up his people here at the end to lead people back to him. You know, I said, and that's what's supposed to be happening right now. That's what the revelation is. Revelation isn't all about death and destruction, but see, that's what they're in that low level of understanding. So everything to them about revelation is about death and destruction. But they never talk about a revealing. Even the word, you know, revelation is about a revealing. It's a revealing of things that have been hidden. Revealing of things, you know, that have been hidden from us for a very long time. What are the other nations? What are the Gentiles revealing right now? See, their revelation is, oh man, the dollar is gonna be, you know, there was some videos, whatever, the dollar is about to, you know, the paper dollar is about to lose its, you know, its place or whatever else. Like that's all they're worried about. Their revelation to them and destruction to them is them losing their standing in this world. And everything that you listen to is all about them losing their standing in this world, right? I don't hear anything else about being lied to. None of that. All they're concerned with is losing standing, you know, in this matrix here. And you know, the thing is that, hey, you guys are going to lose no matter what. It has nothing to do with us. It has to do with, it's ordained in the stars. Your story, see, our story is written in the stars, but so is yours. Our rise is written in the stars, but so is your demise. That's all written in there. And when the Gentiles came in and took over our lands and they got a hold of our records, they realized, they didn't know it before, but they realized that the whole story of what was going to happen and what's been happening is all in the stars. See, on the short that I put up yesterday, it talked about the ley lines and how the ley lines were connected, right? So you got ley lines that they set up all these cities on that are crossing oceans, right? So therefore, if you got Atlanta, you got Washington D.C., you got Rome, you got Jerusalem, you got all these different places, Britain or whatever else, you got all these different places on the same ley line. That would then mean that the people who were building the original places were well aware of the lands over here on the other side of the ocean, of the Atlantic. They were definitely aware of all these different places that the Gentiles were not aware of, right? So not until they got their opportunity to fulfill scripture and come over here and destroy the Israelites, like it was talked about, like Columbus was talking about, that they were going to get their opportunity to, get all 12 tribes, not just the southern kingdom. They were going to get the northern kingdom as well, and the northern kingdom was over here, right? So not until they got a hold of our wreckage, they realized that these certain cities were built on ley lines, and that they got power from these certain areas. So they didn't destroy these lands. They made it sound like they got into like Teotihuacan or to Tenochtitlan, and they just destroyed everything, and then they just rebuilt. No, you just took over that area because you knew that there was power in that area. You learned about it from our people. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like you all this stuff was already set up. All these places were already set up. So you just went ahead and built you renamed them, and you took over as you were supposed to. It was part of your blessing. I said, you were supposed to do all that. I said, I'm not saying anything bad about the fact that you've done all that. I said, because we messed up. So therefore you had your opportunity. That's it. I said, but you guys can't even admit that. You guys can't admit that you got an opportunity from the Most High because we messed up. You've gone out and made it seem as if you discovered everything and you set these places up. And I said, and there can be nothing further from the truth. Okay? So we're getting all this information now, that about the ley lines, about the buildings, about the cities that were built and all that stuff. And, there's more that's going to be coming out. I said, there's going to be more and more. This is the revelation. This is the revealing. This is the end times, end game, and see, they're everything with them is about what they can see in the physical. Everything is about, the physical destruction. But see, the Most High is destroying them spiritually. And there's a lot of destruction going on in the spiritual realm right now. The lies are being destroyed. Their foundation is being destroyed. Trust me, they're not going to sleep. They're not going home in the evenings, and they're not sleeping as well as they used to. They're not, able just to go and, oh man, life is so good. Our future is so bright, I need sunglasses. I just can't believe how lucky we are and how great everything is. See, that's how they've lived for such a long time, right? Now it's like they're hearing. The Most High's got spirits on these people. He's got spirits talking to them. He's got spirits revealing the truth. The things that they were able to just get away with is not working anymore. It's not working anymore. They're pastors that help them to live, a somewhat comfortable life, in this society. I says they're passing away, they're dying, and you're seeing other people eating their own now. You're seeing these other pastors going after them, like, oh, I didn't agree with his doctrine, I didn't agree with that doctrine, I didn't agree with what he did with his. And I said, where was all these people for the last few hundred years? I said, where were all these people that disagreed, doctrinally or whatever else, for the last few hundred years? I said, if they did have any kind of issues, that would be stuff they would be talking behind closed doors. They would be going back and forth, with each other behind closed doors. They wouldn't be airing their dirty laundry, out in public. But see, now you got all these countries. I said they're all airing out their grievances in public. I'm sure that these countries have had grievances with America, before, but they knew not to be saying anything out in public. They knew not to be bringing those grievances, out to the public. They would be keeping that stuff in-house and talking with each other, about it. I said, because they were all confederate against us at that time. But now that we're really in the time of revelation, like I said, and the thing is that this battle, I said, it talks about how it's spiritual. And it totally is. If you really think about it, I mean, the battle is totally spiritual. And you can see the spirits fighting and going at it right now. You see them in retreat. I don't see them. See, before they used to be, going out. They used to be on the offense. So now they're not even on defense. They're not even playing defense anymore. They're not even trying to defend their history. They're not even trying to defend the things that they've taught before. Now they're just quiet, as if they've just, they've put up the white flag. They are resigned to the fact that they've come to the end of their run, and there's nothing that they can do anymore to fight back. And there's a constellation. I'm going to get into this because it talks about this, and the raven. I want to say the raven is on top of the hydra or the serpent, and it's actually like connected, and it's about like the cup or the curse going onto the serpent or the devil's children as well. And the bird is like pecking and eating at the serpent, and the serpent can't do anything about it. And that's kind of like what the society is like now, okay? Because when a person is to the point where birds are able to come and eat at the flesh, and they don't even have the strength to fight off the birds, they can't even, fight the birds off from eating at their flesh, that means that they've lost absolutely all power whatsoever. And that's exactly, that was written in the stars. I'm gonna show you guys that actually in a video. That's actually in the constellation. And if you actually read the scriptures, it talks about that in, like, I'm gonna say the book of Revelation. But if you read the book of Enoch, that happened to our people. How all these different birds, if you remember in the book of Revelation, all these different birds were coming after the sheep, and they were destroying the sheep, and they were pecking at the sheep, and they were ripping the sheep apart. And it was actually what led up to the valley of dry bones, if you actually read this part of Enoch. And so we had lost all power to fight. We had lost all of our strength. There was nothing that we could do to fight off our enemies. And that's exactly what happened to us. And that was represented in the book of Enoch, and with all these birds that were destroying us and eating our flesh. And now the same thing is actually written in the stars. It's in one of the decans. It's one of the constellations that's outside of the regular constellations. And it shows the serpent and the raven actually on top of the serpent with its claws, or with its talons or whatever else, sunk into the snake or to the serpent, and it's eating at the flesh. So therefore, the serpent has no power now to fight off the bird, just like the birds or whatever else, because it talks about the angels coming. Remember, I'm not sure if it was Joel or Revelations or both, how a mighty angel steps out into the sky and tells all the birds to get together for a mighty battle, and that they're going to be able to feast on the flesh of our enemies. Well, that analogy, like I said, it goes exactly with this constellation. And it shows how these people are going to not even have the power to be able to fight off the birds. They're not going to have the power to fight off anything. Now, if you look at what's going on right now, do you see the Gentiles right now having any power to fight off any of this information? Not even just the Gentiles. Do you even see like people that are supposedly even in the truth? I said they've been so hardcore about not reading any other books for a very long time. Now all of a sudden they've shut their mouths. Now all of a sudden even people that are supposedly in the truth don't say a word about other books. They just still preach the same things over and over again. If that's where the Most High has them, and that's what the Most High wants them to do, that's fine. I said, but that's exactly what the Gentiles have been doing, right? This whole time, and it worked before because they had the power to just ignore us. They had the power. They weren't that snake on the ground that had no power, so the birds couldn't come and just feast on their flesh. Now they have no power, and now all of a sudden, these truths are coming out, and they got nothing to say. They've got absolutely nothing to say. So you're going to be surprised at some of a lot more of this information is going to be coming out. I said, because it's absolutely amazing. You're going to see how many stories are actually written in the constellations. I said, not just the constellations that we are familiar with. There's other ones, quite a few, that actually, there's a lot of biblical stories that actually go into the decans. If you look up decans and do some research, you'll get some information, and you'll see that a lot of the stories that we actually have in our Bible and our scriptures come from these decans. They come from these other constellations that are outside of the regular constellations. Okay, and again, that's something that's the other groups like the Egyptians knew about. Okay, the Babylonians were aware of, but the Greeks weren't aware of it until way later. The Romans weren't aware of it until way later, because this stuff was not given to them. Now you understand like why when what is it? The Catholic Church has a telescope, and it's over here in Arizona, and it's called Lucifer. The mightiest telescopes are actually down in like South America. So because these lands are closer to the stars, these ones have a much better vantage point to the stars. Now, listen, does this not make sense? If the Most High, the Most High gave us seasons, right? He gave us the lands with seasons because we have a covenant with the Most High, right? We have a calendar that certain things have to happen at a certain time of the year. Certain things are supposed to be happening at certain times of the year. Well, if we had like the lands of Ham and it's always hot, how could you tell the seasons? If we were given like the lands of Japheth and it was always cold, how would you tell the seasons? You see what I'm saying? We were given the lands that have seasons, right? I said because we have a covenant with the Most High, and there's things that we're supposed to do depending upon the weather, depending upon the time of the year, depending upon the equinoxes and things, and all those kinds of things, right? So like I said, this truth goes way back to even that. So them coming over and stealing the land, it would make sense that they would have no understanding of the things that were supposed to be observed here because they never had a covenant with the Most High in the first place. So the Most High never gave them that information in the first place. So not until they got here and stole our records, then all of a sudden they wanted to portray themselves as these experts on the constellations, and they're the experts on astronomy and astrology and everything else, right? I said, but if you never had a covenant with the Most High, then you would have never known this information in the first place because the Most High would have never given it to you. Okay, so we'll get together again later. I said I'll give you a little something to think about right now, right? All praise is the Most High, Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Shalom.